Hello again, Dr. Bar.
Hi, Michelle.
So now we're on our second series of regenerative medicine.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about stem cell therapy.
Nice. One of my favorite topics. Thank you. I like that. So stem cells have been one of the hot items, in cellular therapy. And now we have more research and more information about the products that come out of stem cells. And one of the buzzwords now is exosomes. And exosomes are almost, if you think about it, the product, the messenger, the production of those stem cells. And they are really amazing because we've used them quite a bit in regenerative medicine, whether it's skin, reversing the aging of the hair and reversing the hair loss and bringing the hair back again. So amazing results on that. But also in medicine, we have been using them for anti-aging. And one of the shots that I love, I do monthly or every 3 months, depends on the person, we do a consult. And we do health and immune shot, we call it. And it has all these like messengers in the exosomes, which is byproducts of the stem cells, and we call it cellular therapy now. And these shots are amazing. We're seeing so many patients just like losing weight, feeling so healthy, reversing their blood sugars and that A1C and the diabetes problems. They have so much energy. They come and say, oh, my hair is not turning gray as much, my hair is growing so fast, and I'm feeling so much better. I can run 10 miles now instead of 2. So it is the new way of aging very healthy. And I'm so excited because we can give them now, for patients, and they're very reasonable. Before they were thousands and thousands of dollars, and now, it's reasonable to give those shots. It might cost like $2,000 or something if somebody needs a high dose.
Gotcha. And what else can you use the exosomes for?
So exosomes, we've used them actually recently. Exosomes and mesenchymal cells, we've been using them in big centers, and all these studies are out, and now the FDA's give them the authorization. So the exosomes and the stem cells, mesenchymal ones, are being used in big centers in ICUs to treat COVID-19. Because we know the Wharton jelly, this is a very particular, so not all stem cells are the same. So the Wharton jelly, mesenchymal stem cells, they are immune modulators, and they can be the best to dampen that immune reaction that we get with COVID. Everybody heard about it, the cytokine storm. I hope I'm not too technical, but people, when they get COVID, there is a problem with the immune system, whether they're young or old. And of course, the older have issues with the immune system, but some of the young people we're seeing still have this. And we're guessing it's probably a T cell function, there's a problem in innate immunity. So for them, the first couple of days, maybe week, is just a mild illness, and they just hunker down in the house and don't go out. But guess what? Second and third week, this is where the cytokine storm and this huge inflammation can happen. And I'm just telling everybody, I've seen so many patients the last several months since March. Please be followed by your doctor. Make sure somebody is following up and making sure they're monitoring, because we've seen young people with that unfortunate immune issue. They would have clots and they would be paralyzed. They would lose the kidney functions. And the moment you heard about all those athletic, like the baseball and football players, they had heart conditions and inflammation of the muscles in the heart, and some of them would have strokes. So nobody, it's a small number. I'm not, alarming anyone. It's a small number of people that have an immune problem. But the best way to protect ourselves is probably making sure we have some of these immune modulators, and they're using it for patients now in the hospitals. There's in University of Miami, in Texas, in Washington, all these big centers, they're using them in an infusion versus like a shot for patients that are on ventilators, and they're getting great results for COVID. Amazing. So by the same token, I think a lot of the immune conditions are going to be seen in the future to be treated, like fibromyalgia, backaches, chronic fatigue and chronic bone problems, osteoarthritis. Some of the FDA has approved some of the injections for the mesenchymal stem cells, and then there's different kinds. There's different kinds. Yeah.
And then you were mentioning also, I mean, what you've just spoken about is far more important than aesthetics, but you know, we all want to look good and feel good.
Yes.
So you were mentioning that the stem cell exosomes could be used for different aesthetic treatments as well.
Yes. So the very interesting use for it is reversing the signaling of the cells and the aging. So when you inject it, instead of using the Botox, that it's just a short of period, and then it goes away, and it's really paralyzing the muscle, and it's a toxin. You can start doing those liquid facelifts. Actually, a lot of people have been learning more about them. And I was fascinated when I went and got the training. It was so cool because, you know, it is actually instant effect when you mix it with some of the dermal fillers. But at the same time, over a year or two, the people are looking younger, they're not aging, because you're reversing the signal. So the exosomes are so smart. They go in and create a signal between your cells, and even you have aging cells, and they go in and they win. They create that young signaling for regeneration and recovery.
Gotcha.
And yeah, it's amazing. The other one that we've used, and I've used it in, I know it sounds like, you know, big deal, but I inject the scalp for people who had hair loss.
Right.
So areas that have been like exposed, men mostly here,
Right.
and sometimes women, we've reversed the hair loss.
That's amazing.
Yeah, much more better than a lot of things that were out there before.
So it sounds similar to PRP, which we've been doing here for several years with great success. But there's some people who need or want that, you know, liquid gold, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
They want to reverse that process even more so.
Yeah.
So that sounds like that would be.
So every patient is different, and that's why you need to consult and find out what is needed and advise the patient accordingly.
Oh, well, I'm excited to be offering that, and I want to sign up.
Yes, it's amazing. A lot of the countries, they're doing it IV, and I think in the big centers also they're doing IV.
That's amazing.
Mesenchymal cells, and they're specific. So my key point: not all mesenchymal cells are the same. They can be. Some people used to remove the belly fat or the bone marrow, but also a good source of it, which is being used also in big centers now, is the mesenchymal from a Wharton jelly, which is originally from the cord. And of course, if you have a younger cell, first of all, you have a younger cell that can replicate better than an older one. You have a larger number, and the best part that you don't have to match it. It's not like the blood, because these are immune modulators. They are very important. You never hear about the mom rejecting the baby, you know. So that cord is like immune modulators, and that's why we're using it in like chronic immune diseases.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
I know.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. It's going to be great.